Thank you for that. Thank you for that very humbling introduction. I'm not sure if you're talking about me, but anyway, thank you. Thanks for inviting me to come again during this Tuesday training. It's wonderful to be able to talk to all of us together, that we may all learn together. So thank you so much for inviting me, Madam President and Mr. President. It's a joy to be on this meeting. I was listening today to the video that you have sent that was during the convention when the two of you were talking, and I've really been encouraged. I just laughed all the way through. That was really wonderful and very, very encouraging. So thank you. And for those of you who have seen me before or do not know me, my name's Doreen Aluda. I am married. I'm a retiree for the last 16 years. I'm married to a wonderful man called Fred, who does all the work, but most of the time in the background. So I hope one of these days he'll come to the foreground. And I have 4 wonderful children. Now there are 8 because the 4 of them are married. And so I have 8 children, although I gave birth to 4. And I have 9 wonderful grandchildren. I thank God because I do have an adult. My firstborn grandchild is an adult of 19 years. So I really thank God for that. And God has been very faithful. So I joined Neolife in 2019, February. What was the reason for my joining? Is because I had a health issue that was difficult, something I suffered from for 27 years. I wasn't sure that there could ever be found a cure for it because I had been to many doctors. I had used a lot of medication. Probably my body was full of toxins. But when I joined Neolife and I learned about the products and I started using the products, today I am fine. I normally don't say the issue that I had very easily because I discovered not very many people understand what it is. It is called vertigo or vertigo, depending on where you come from. And this is a problem that affects your balance. Almost everything keeps going round and round and round, and you never understand what exactly is happening. So that had been a big issue for 27 years, but I thank God today, after being in Neolife for 2.5 years, I don't have the problem anymore. And that's why I talk very strongly about products, because I used the products. I was told the products work, and I proved it to be right, that the products work. And once I knew what products to use, I found myself living a normal life once more after very many years. So those of you who are coming in for the first time and you have heard that statement, we have products that work, they truly work. There is no question about it. So we are very grateful for this opportunity where when we enter, we get a good health, and you will learn later, we also have an opportunity to have good wealth. So in my time in Neolife, I have had, I've looked at different products, and I have a special interest in knowing what the products are and what they do. And so today, once again, I think for the second time in this meeting, I am talking about the power of Cocutain. Now, Cocutain is one of Neolife's products that was brought in around 2017, I believe. Now, for us to be able to understand what Cocutain, it sounds like a very scientific word. And for some people, we may not know what exactly it means. So allow me to just explain a little bit what Cocutain is. And first of all, just to know that the scientific name for this particular product is ubiquinone or ubiquinone. I'm not sure how they pronounce it. But the word, the term Cocutain refers to a particular product or a particular substance in our bodies. So just to divide it up a little bit more, Q10 itself refers to the chemical makeup of the substance that we are talking about. For example, when you want to talk about water, you can say H2O. So you know water is composed of 2 elements of hydrogen and 1 of oxygen. So Q10 is referring to that kind of makeup of the substance. And then there is the CO or the core, which refers to the ability of the Q10 to support another substance for effective performance. And in this case, it is an enzyme. That is the substance that is being supported by the Q10. So co, you could say, to understand it a little bit more, you could think of the word coexist or cooperative. It actually means it's something that is supporting something else. And so in terms of Cocutain, we are saying it is a substance that is supporting an enzyme. So, and what is an enzyme then? Some people may not be aware of what an enzyme is. That is a substance that is produced by living things, which helps a chemical change to happen more quickly or better in our bodies. So an enzyme does certain things. For example, metabolism is a chemical process. And this process changes food into energy through the help of an enzyme. So what does Cocutain do? Cocutain is a coenzyme or a vitamin substance which is necessary for the enzyme to do its work. So there is the enzyme, which is a chemical process. And when you have Cocutain, it is working together with the enzyme to be able to make sure that the process, the chemical process is working or is doing its work at optimal level. And so Cocutain is a very important product, is a very important coenzyme in our bodies because it is helping the enzyme in terms of metabolism. We know when the food we eat, you need the coenzyme or the Cocutain to help in the work of metabolism so that our food is processed at optimal level to be able to give us the energy we need or to produce the material that is needed for our growth. So we will find that the product Cocutain is found throughout the body. But we know also that we understand it is especially in the heart, the liver, the kidney, and the pancreas. So basically that is what Cocutain is. Once we understand what Cocutain is, then our next question is, so what are the benefits and purpose of the Cocutain? And we find that the Cocutain is required, as I said, for proper functioning of many organs because it is helping in a chemical reaction. And the chemical reactions in the body are very important for our health. So it is important for energy production. It helps receive or provide energy to the cells. It also supports a healthy heart function. And it is good and necessary for cardiovascular health. It plays a very important part in metabolism, as I have already said. If we didn't have the core Q10 in our systems, we probably have a problem with our metabolism. So it plays an important part in metabolism. It also serves as an antioxidant. In other words, it protects our cells from damage. We know that antioxidants help our bodies from being damaged. And so the Cocutain is a very important part of that process. It also improves the symptoms of congestive heart failure. We know that many people are suffering from many diseases that could very easily cause heart failure. So it does improve in knowing what are some of those symptoms. It can also aid in recovery. There are people who have reached a certain stage and have had to have bypass or heart valve surgeries. And when you have enough Cocutain in your system, it will aid in the recovery of those particular surgeries. It also helps to prevent medical situations such as migraine headaches, Parkinson's disease, high blood pressure, and any kind of chest pain, among other things. So the question now to ask, having understood the benefits of Cocutain, is how does the body then replenish this very important coenzyme called Cocutain? Because you need it so much in the body. From the head, we talk about migraine headaches, to the chest, you're talking about heart or chest problems, to the stomach, talking about metabolism, digestion of food, all the way down to the feet, we need the Cocutain. So we are saying, how does it then get replenished in the body? Naturally, usually, it is eaten in small amounts of meat or seafood. And any healthy person normally has enough Cocutain naturally. But then, why talk about supplementation? if that is the case. We can eat the meat, we can eat the seafood. Unfortunately, many of us don't eat much seafood except fish. But there are people, like I have watched on the TV, people from Japan and China, particularly Japan. Those guys eat a lot of seafood. And the kind of seafood that you and I, when you look at, you would feel revolted. But they eat them. Yesterday, we were watching them harvesting tortoise or turtles, I'm not sure. Small little things, and they're going to make it food. Crabs, all kinds of seafood. Apparently, it is very healthy. For some of us who don't come from sea-oriented areas, this is not something interesting. I can't even stand prawns myself, but I see people eating prawns and crabs, and I guess that is good for you in terms of production of Cocutain. So why then do we need to supplement? And that's where we are talking about the power of Cocutain. We need to supplement because most usually, many of us may not have enough of it. Why? Because our natural production of Cocutain slows down as we age. And so by the age of 50, most likely it is more than 50% depleted. Now, for those of us who are in my age group, you know what that means. For the others who are as young as our presidents, you probably still have enough Cocutain in your system. But for many of us over 50 years, already 50% is depleted. Now, that's a lot of Cocutain out of your system. Now, unfortunately for us, it is a natural state of depletion. There isn't really much you can do about it. It naturally depletes, it naturally reduces. So I was thinking about it and imagining if at 50, it has reduced by 50%, chances are at 60, it has reduced by 60%. Chances are at 70, it has probably reduced at 70%. So for those of you like me who are over 70, you know what that means. It means you have very little Cocutain in your system. And that means you have very little energy. It also means your metabolism is not working properly. It also means that you probably start having issues with your heart, issues with your chest, issues with your head, maybe headaches when you get any small infection. So it means it gets worse as we grow older. And so it becomes absolutely necessary that we must supplement to ensure that we continue to have the energy. It also explains why when you are at 50, it doesn't feel so bad. When you get to 60, you begin to feel like you don't have any energy. And the very things you used to do with very little effort or the least effort, you begin to struggle to do it. Let me give you an example. I used to walk top speed. I used to walk, if you walked with me, you would be left way far behind. My husband would walk with me and I would leave him several meters behind because I was a very fast walker. But I hit 70 and my friends, I couldn't walk that fast. And I was wondering, am I sick? Should I go to the doctor? Should I check and find out what the problem is? No, it was because most likely my Coq10 enzyme, coenzyme, had gone down and depleted. And so I didn't have the energy to move on. And I thank God for New Life because then I went ahead and bought Cocutain. And now I still walk because the energy has been replenished. So friends, Cocutain is a powerful product. And that is something that can help us to age gracefully. Now the situation is made worse by the unhealthy diet that we take and our lifestyle patterns. For example, we have learned as we came into New Life that you only need 20 grams of meat in your meal to help your body. But of course, none of us ever eats 20 grams. We hardly ever do. Most of the time, you want to make sure kama ni kuku umekula mguu yote mzima. And when you are visiting, you get the whole, or whatever they call it, the mguu here plus, if you can see what I'm talking about. The whole part that you cut a quarter of a chicken is when you can say you have eaten chicken or a whole fish. But all we need is 20 grams. So our lifestyle, our eating habits are also endangering the Cocutain availability in our body because it makes our system not be able to operate at optimal level. And then we have the issue of prescriptions and over-the-counter drugs that we take. And we take them and they add toxins to our body. As they add toxins to our body, our Cocutain is depleted. And so we have that problem. So what happens? You need to supplement. And then most of the time, the lower levels of Cocutain could very easily result in heart failure, and as I said, high blood pressure, and many other diseases, Parkinson's disease, blood infections, muscle diseases, certain muscle diseases can be caused because of the depletion of Cocutain. So when you think about that, and the older you grow, the more loose your muscles can become, and therefore you do need to make sure that you have something that will help your muscles to stay firm and to stay strong. And so there is a necessity for supplementation. And most of the supplements out there, we have learned from our doctors in the opportunities, and I thank God particularly for Dr. Eseza from South Africa, because one time she talked about some of these things, and she said there are so many vitamins out there, there are many products, but most of them are synthetic. And when they are synthetic, it means they are not that good for your body. Of course, no one may tell you that, but I had an interesting experience here where we were using vitamin B complex in our home. And because I needed that for the issue I had, and so we take it, very religiously. And then one time they was having a problem, so he decided to go and see a doctor, and the doctor prescribed vitamin B complex from the chemist. So my husband bought that and brought it. He stayed in the house for a while. And then I asked him, why have you bought this vitamin? He said, well, the doctor prescribed it. I said, but we have vitamin B complex. We don't need that. He said, okay, he left it. Then at some point, one day he said, okay, let me try it and see this thing that the doctor gave me. The man never slept after that. He was so sick at night, he was wondering why he took that particular vitamin, because we do have vitamin B complex in your life. So all I'm saying is the synthetic stuff may not necessarily be the best for your body. I am not saying all medicine is wrong. I'm just saying we have to be careful. We have Coq10. So New Life Solution is this wonderful product that came in 2017 with the same name, Coq10, the coenzyme that helps in ensuring that our enzymes are working, the chemical processes are working at optimal level. And so we have the product Cocutain with the same name, and it will support our cells to produce at optimal level. And so when we take Cocutain, you begin to feel healthy, you begin to feel strong, because we are told within 2 minutes, it has dissolved and has begun the work. How many products work like that? Cocutain is that powerful. Within 2 minutes, it is already working. It is moving in our cells. It's doing its work, and our bodies begin to come back to normal. If you stop using it for a little while, you will notice the difference. And when you go back, you will notice the difference it makes. Let me not finish there. Let me finish by saying there are some symptoms that would help you, would help us to be able to know if there is a deficiency of Cocutain in our system. You might find neurological abnormalities like seizures. You may find intellectual disability or nerve pains. And when I talk about nerve pains, I have a testimony of my own daughter who has had a rough time with nerve pains, but right now she's been using vitamin B complex, she's been using vitamin E, she's been using Calmag, and she's been using Cocutain, and she's using Provitality. You name it, they sound a lot, but she's feeling so much better. She's walking around and she's doing work. For a long time, she could hardly do anything, and she was forever tired. And now she's able to continue with her work. So I know that the Cocutain works. You might have a poor muscle tone, it's called hypotonia, or an involuntary muscle contraction, it is called dystomia in medical terms, or a progressive muscle stiffness. This word is called spasticity or something like that. Now that's to do with the muscles. And these issues can happen. Again, I have a testimony of that, or rather my family has a testimony of that, where my husband has gone through that because of issues that happened to him a few years back. And one most recent one is when the muscles just got completely stiff. He was at church and he couldn't walk from church. When he went, he was walking, coming back, he couldn't come back because he was having difficulty walking. And in the process, I just said to him, let's just use the Cocutain. And he used the Cocutain, and within a couple of days, he was walking normally again without going to the doctor. Isn't that a powerful product? That's a very, very powerful product. No medication. The muscles have decided they're not working, and he took Cocutain and he was working. Up to today, he's still working. He hasn't had it back again, and he's still using Cocutain. So we thank God for that. Some other symptom may be abnormal eye movement or vision loss caused by degeneration. Here is the guy I'm talking about. For those of you who have never seen him, he's here. He's doing very well. He's working, and maybe you can just go like that to them. So we are so happy with this product and many other products. I would recommend everybody, whether you have any pain or any symptom or not, use the Cocutain, because remember, it depletes naturally. So you don't want to get to that point where your cells are having problems because you are getting older and you have no energy. Use the Cocutain and you will maintain your energy. So I believe at our age, and we are still moving around, we drove to Nairobi recently as we came to a meeting there, and we met a policeman at Gilgil. And when he came, we started talking to him. And then he asked us, you people, you're still driving? We said, yeah. And he said, not many people drive at your age. And so we said to him, well, we'll let you know the reason why we are driving at our age. We didn't know we still looked better and we could still drive. And so that is Cocutain and many other products for you. And so I thank God for Cocutain. If you are not using it, please use it. Let me conclude by saying thank you very much for allowing me to share with you the importance and the power of Cocutain for optimal health. May God bless all of us and all of you.
Last but not least, it helped me through with my ligament. The ligament that holds the foot to the leg is no nonsense when it is hurt. You can't move. And with that Cocutain thing, I'm so grateful I can move and run. Thank you for listening to us. God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless you.